I died choking on my own blood, the taste of rust and regret flooding my mouth as the headlights of my brother's truck bore down like twin accusations from hell. In that split second, as the world exploded into shards of glass and twisted metal, I saw it all: the forged texts on my phone, the accidental brake failure he'd engineered, the smirk on his face when he'd waved me off that rainy afternoon. Betrayed by the brother who'd sworn to protect me, all for a slice of the family fortune I'd been too naive to claim. And then, nothing, until the screech of tires yanked me back, not to the wreckage, but to the sterile hum of a high school auditorium, my cap and gown itching against sweat-slick skin, the year 2018 stamped fresh on my soul like a cruel joke from the universe. My name was Oakley back then, Oakley Harper, valedictorian of Elmwood High in the Rust Belt ghost town of Gary, Indiana, where dreams rusted faster than the mills. I'd clawed my way through AP classes and part-time shifts at the diner, dodging Dad's whiskey-fueled rages and Mom's pill-pop silences, all while my older brother, Jax, coasted on charm and connections. The golden boy who'd drop out of community college but land a cushy job at Dad's auto shop anyway. Graduation day was supposed to be my escape hatch, the ticket out to a full ride at Purdue, away from the Harper family's toxic cocktail of resentment and rot. But as I scanned the sea of proud faces in the crowd, parents snapping photos, siblings whooping like idiots, mine was empty. Not a single Harper in sight. The principal called my name, and I walked the stage on numb legs, the diploma heavy as a noose in my hands. Whispers rippled. "Where's her family? That's cold." I forced a smile for the flashbulbs, but inside, something cracked. Later, at the after-party in the gym, I cornered my best friend Mia on the bleachers, her sequin dress sparkling under the disco lights. "They just forgot," I muttered, scrolling through my phone for the umpteenth time. No texts, no calls. Jax had even posted on Facebook about hitting the Bears game with his buddies, Chicago, 2 hours away. Like Gary was too small to remember me. Mia squeezed my arm. "Oakley, that's bullshit. Call him." But I didn't. Pride, or maybe the first whisper of that old Harper stubbornness, kept my thumb off the dial. Instead, I drowned the ache in lukewarm punch laced with whatever contraband vodka the football team had smuggled in. By midnight, I was stumbling home through the muggy June night, fireflies mocking me like tiny accusations. Our house squatted on the edge of town, a sagging ranch-style relic with peeling blue paint and a driveway cluttered with Dad's junked Fords. The porch light was off, but the living room glowed, silhouettes dancing behind the curtains, music thumping, laughter spilling out like smoke. I pushed the door open, the screen creaking like a bad omen. There they were, Dad sprawled in his lazy boy, beer in hand, regaling Jax and Mom with some tall tale about the '89 Steelers. Balloons bobbed from the ceiling, pink and blue. "Happy birthday," Jax scrawled in Mom's loopy script. My brother turned 23 that day. I'd known it was his birthday. Hell, I'd baked him brownies the night before, left them on the counter with a note. "Congrats on the promotion, bro. Kill it at the shop." But they'd thrown a party for him on my graduation night. The air smelled of cake and betrayal, thick enough to choke on. "Oakley," Mom startled, her eyes glassy from whatever cocktail of Xanax and Merlot she'd mixed. She smoothed her apron, the one with the faded daisies, like that could erase the scene. "Honey, we got our wires crossed. Jax's thing just snuck up on us." Jax lounged on the couch, feet up on the coffee table, a slice of chocolate cake smeared on his plate. His grin was all teeth, the kind that charmed teachers and dodged DUIs.
Sis. Shit.
I thought you were crashing at Mia's. Come join. Dad's got stories that'll curl your toes. He held out a beer, casual, as if he hadn't just erased me from the calendar. I stood there, cap still clutched in my fist, the weight of it all crashing down. My graduation.
Today.
You forgot. It wasn't a question. Dad grunted, not looking up from his bottle. Life moves fast.
Kiddo.
Jax here's got real responsibilities now. Real responsibilities. Like slinging parts at the shop, Dad had mortgaged our house to keep afloat. The one bleeding money because Dad's investments in sketchy side hustles, fencing stolen catalytic converters. Rumor had it were tanking us. That night, I locked myself in my room, the walls closing in with posters of indie bands and college brochures I dog-eared to death. I replayed it all, the empty seats, the party balloons mocking my cap, Jax's feigned surprise. But this was just the tip, the splinter before the blade. In my first life, that forgetfulness snowballed. I confronted them the next morning over scorched eggs. Voice cracking. How could you? Mom teared up. Dad stormed out. And Jax? He pulled me aside in the garage, his breath hot with last night's booze. Look, Oak, it's not about you.
Dad's stressed.
The shop's underwater.
And
there's stuff you don't know.
Stuff.
Like the audit looming, the IRS sniffing around Dad's books, the loans from shady uncles in Chicago who'd want their cut with interest, knuckles, not percentages. I pushed, of course. Pried at the edges. And that's when the cracks widened. A week later, rifling through Dad's desk for tuition money he'd promised, I found the envelope. Yellowed photos of a man in a pool of shadows. Throat slashed. Dumped in Lake Michigan. Notes scribbled in Dad's hand. Fix the witness. Jax cleaned up. My stomach dropped. The man was Uncle Ray, Mom's brother. The family black sheep who'd vanished in '05, right after threatening to blow the whistle on Dad's operation. Jax, barely 18 then, had been the lookout. They'd pinned it on a rival crew. Walked free. And me, the good daughter, the straight-A shield, I'd been the alibi without knowing, sleeping soundly while they buried the body and the truth. I confronted Jax that night, photos trembling in my hands. You killed him? Our own uncle? His face twisted, not remorse, but cornered rage. He was gonna sink us all. Oak.
Dad did what he had to.
We protected the family. Protected. Like erasing a life was just bad plumbing. I ran to Mom, hysterical, but she just held me, whispering, "Hush now. It's done. Let it lie. Let it lie." As if blood washed off with bleach. The fallout was swift. Jax started gaslighting me. Texts from anonymous, numbers calling me paranoid. Whispers at the diner that I was unstable, cracking under pressure. Dad cut off my tuition, muttering about family loyalty. I deferred Purdue, took double shifts, but the noose tightened. Debts piled. Whispers turned to threats, those Chicago uncles circling, demanding repayment, eyeing me as leverage. Jax played the hero, helping by fixing my car brakes one stormy night. "Trust me, sis," he'd said, tools clinking. I did. Until the highway betrayed me, tires screaming. That truck, Tesla knockoff, sleek and stolen, plowing me off the road into the Calumet River. Drowning in secrets and silt, my last thought. Why? For the inheritance. Of course. Uncle Ray's life insurance, tucked away in a trust Dad had siphoned. But with me gone, the troubled daughter, no one to contest. Jack's got it all.
Now.
Here I was again. Same body, same sweltering auditorium, but with the ghost screaming in my veins. Trung Sin, they call it that in those old stories. A second shot at the wheel. I blinked against the stage lights. Diploma fresh. The crowd's applause a roar in my ears. But my eyes locked on the empty seats. Not empty this time. I'd make sure of it. As I descended the stairs, heart pounding like a war drum, I whispered to the void, "You forgot me once." Never again. The universe had handed me the reset button. And this time, I'd rewrite the code, burn it down from the inside. One calculated cut at a time. The after-party buzzed with teenage chaos, streamers dangling like nooses, bass thumping from rented speakers, the scent of Axe body spray and desperation hanging heavy. I spotted Mia across the gym, her curls bouncing as she danced with Tyler, the quarterback who'd ghost her by fall. But I wasn't here for nostalgia. My phone burned in my pocket, a weapon loaded with futures I now knew by heart. I slipped out the side door, the humid air slapping my face like a wake-up call, and dialed the number I'd memorized from that blood-soaked envelope. Detective Harlan. Gary PD. The cop Dad had bought off with a rebuilt Chevy. Harlan speaking. His voice was gravel. Same as in my first life when he dismissed my panicked call about family troubles. "This is Oakley Harper," I said, voice steady as steel. "I need to meet."
Now.
About Ray Whitaker's murder. Silence stretched, broken only by the distant whoops from the gym. "Kid, you got the wrong number. That's ancient history. Not anymore." I fed him details, the dump site coordinates from Dad's notes, the caliber of the .38 they'd used, Jax's tattoo visible in the photo's grainy edge. Harlan sucked in a breath. Christ. How the hell? Doesn't matter. Meet me at the diner on Broadway in 30. Come alone. I hung up, pulse racing, the thrill of the first domino tipping electric. This was the hook, not brute force, but precision. Leak the poison slow. Watch them choke on it. Back inside, I played the part, laughed with Mia, posed for selfies, even flirted with the debate club nerd who'd pine for me unrequited. But my mind mapped the board. Jax's promotion was a lie. Greased by Dad's fencing ring, Mom's migraines, masked Vicodin addictions funded by skimmed insurance. And the uncles? They'd roll in like thunder once the IRS audit hit, triggered anonymously. Of course, with copies of those ledger pages I'd find later. By 10 p.m., my phone buzzed. Harlan.
Diner. Now.
I texted Mia a cover, bathroom break, and bolted, cap tucked under my arm like a talisman. The diner glowed neon against the dark, a relic from when Gary still hummed with steel. Harlan waited in a booth, trench coat rumpled, coffee steaming untouched. He was older than I remembered, jowls sagging, but the eyes, sharp, hungry, locked on me as I slid in. "Talk," he growled, sliding a napkin my way like it was a contract. I laid it out, the photos, the notes, the cover-up. His face drained of color, then flushed red. "This is dynamite."
Girl. But why?
"You Harper spawn. Your old man's got half the department in his pocket. Because they killed my uncle. And they'll kill me next if I don't end it. No tears. No tremble. Just facts. Cold and cutting. Harlan leaned back, whistling low. You got proof? Real proof. Enough to bury them. I pulled a USB from my bra, fabricated in this new life, but pulled from memories sharp as knives. Bank transfers. Witness statements Jax had intimidated into silence. Lies. All of it woven from truths I'd died knowing. But I need protection. And a deal. He smirked, but it didn't reach his eyes. Immunity. For me. Full stop. We shook on it, his grip clammy. As I left, the rain started, a biblical downpour, washing the streets like absolution. Phase 1. Seed the investigation. Harlan would dig, quietly at first, then loud when the feds smelled blood. Home loomed, porch light off again. But this time, I didn't creep in. I kicked the door wide. Balloons from Jax's surprise party. I'd rerouted the delivery to arrive early. A petty jab, bobbing accusingly. They froze, Dad mid-sip. Mom slicing cake. Jax mid-laugh, with some shop buddy named Rico. The muscle for their side gigs. Oakley, Mom trilled. Too bright. We were just coming home from graduation. I finished. Voice a whip crack. I tossed my cap on the table, right into the frosting. The one you forgot? Or was it the party you threw for Jax on my day that slipped your minds? Dad's face darkened, veins bulging in his neck. Watch your tone.
Girl.
Ain't no call for dramatics. Jax stood, all easy charm. Hey.
Sis. Chill.
We can reschedule brunch tomorrow? My treat. His eyes flicked to the cap. Calculating. I laughed, sharp and hollow. Brunch? How about truth instead? Like why Uncle Ray's photos are hidden in Dad's desk. Or why the shop's books cook hotter than Mom's meatloaf. The room iced over. Rico shifted, hand twitching toward his belt knife. I remembered from Life 1. Mom gasped, hand to throat. Oakley? What are you? Save it. I pulled out my phone. Hit record. I know everything. The murder. The payoffs. The brakes you'll tamper with to shut me up. Jax's face cracked. Just a flicker, fear. Then fury. Dad lunged, but I sidestepped. Door banging open behind me. Rain lashed in. A chorus to my exit. You little bitch, Jax snarled.
Charging.
I didn't run. I turned, eyes locked on his. Touch me, and Harlan gets the files tonight. All of it. He stopped cold. Dad bellowed. Harlan? That crooked son of a... Exactly. I backed into the storm, water sluicing down my gown. Games changed.
Family.
My move now. The next week's blurred into a chess match of shadows. Harlan moved fast, subpoenas on the shop, tails on Dad's errands to Chicago. I played normal, enrolled at Purdue early, dormed with Mia, who I'd looped in with half-truths, family drama, need space. But weekends? I haunted Gary like a specter. Anonymous tips to the Post-Tribune, Harper Auto, Chop Shop Central. The headlines hit like gut punches. Dad's bail hearing splashed across page 1. His mugshot snarling from the vending box. Jax cornered me at the diner. Rain sheeting the windows. His truck idling outside like a threat. What the fuck?
Oak.
You trying to tank us? I stirred my coffee, black as my resolve.
You tanked yourselves.
Ray deserved better. He leaned in, voice low venom. Ray was a junkie snitch. Dad saved us. And you? You're playing with fire. Little sister. Those uncles? They don't forgive leaks. Let them come. I met his gaze. Unflinching. But you'll burn first. He laughed. But it cracked. Blood's thicker.
Oak.
Remember that. Not anymore. That night, I escalated. Hacked Jax's email, password unchanged since high school. Jax rules 69. Pathetic. Forwarded evidence of his side deals to the DA. Embezzlement. Assault, lies built on bones. The feds swarmed. Cuffs clicking on Rico. Then Dad. Mom OD'd on pills. Accidental, the hospital said. Jax? Out on bond. But his charm soured, job gone. Girl dumped. Whispers branding him poison. Purdue life was my armor. Lectures on ethics, ironic. Parties where I danced like I was free. But doubt gnawed. Was this justice? Or just vengeance in cap and gown? Mia noticed, pulling me aside after a kegger.
Oak. You're
different. Like you're fighting ghosts. I almost cracked, spilling the rebirth, the blood. Instead, family's the real ghost. Thanksgiving loomed. A trap. I drove back not for turkey, but closure. The house sagged emptier. Mom in rehab, Dad in county. Jax answered the door. Hollow-eyed, beard unkempt. Come to gloat. To end it, I stepped in. The living room stripped, furniture repoed, walls echoing. He poured whiskey, hands shaking. You win.
Oak.
Shop seized. Uncles circling.
But you?
You'll carry this. The blood. I sat. The photos from Ray's file spread between us. Whose blood? Jack's? His? Or the one you'll spill to save your skin? He deflated. Confession spilling like rot from a wound. I didn't want it to go that far. Dad pushed. Ray knew too much, the hits, the laundering. I was just the wheelman. Tears tracked his cheeks. Forgive me? The old me might have. Hugged him. Rebuilt. But death had hardened me to marble.
No.
I stood. Phone dialing Harlan live. It's over. Sirens wailed minutes later. Jax in cuffs. Screaming my name like a curse. As they dragged him away, rain pounding again, I felt
hollow.
Victory. But at what cost? The uncle's threats echoed in voicemails. Snitches get ditches. But Harlan had my back. Witness protection whispers. Twist came at Purdue's winter formal. Snow blanketing West Lafayette like fresh lies. Mia dragged me dancing. Her laugh a lifeline. Then, across the hall, a face from the shadows. Uncle Vito. One of Chicago's investors, tuxedo sharp. Eyes on me like prey. He'd bought the Harper silence once.
Now?
He approached, glass in hand. Oakley Harper. Or should I say, the girl who burned her nest. I froze. Champagne flute trembling. Vito. He smiled, serpent smooth. Your daddy owed me.
Big. But you.
You settled the score. Smart. Ruthless. Not anger, admiration. Join us. Real power. No more small-town graves. The offer hung. Temptation's hook. Power. Safety. A new name woven from old sins. Or walk away. Let the feds dismantle the empire. Risk the knives in the dark. I clinked his glass. Decision crystallizing. Deal. No, not deal. I smashed it against his. Shards flying. Drawing blood from his palm. Tell your dogs. Harpers are done. Or you're next on Harlan's list. He laughed. Genuine this time. Dabbing his hand with a napkin. Feisty. Like Ray. Then. Softer. He was my brother too.
Kid.
We buried that truth deep.
But you?
You unearthed it. Be careful. It bites back. He vanished into the crowd, leaving me amid the waltz. Heart thundering. Had I won? Or just traded one noose for another? Months blurred. Trials crushed the Harpers. Dad, 20 to life. Jack's 15 with parole if he sang. Mom rehabbed into therapy. Letters pleading forgiveness, I burned unread.
Me?
I changed my name, Evelyn Locke. Sleek and untraceable, graduated Summa. Landed a fellowship in D.C. White hat hacking for the FBI. Harlan's protege. Unraveling syndicates from afar. But the ghosts lingered. In dreams, Jax's truck headlights blinded. Ray's photos blood color. And Vito? Rumors said he honored the truce. Even funneled tips my way, anonymous drops exposing bigger fish. Ally or puppet master? The line blurred. The real twist hit on a crisp fall eve. 2 years post-grad. As I boarded a flight to Chicago for a consult, my new ID gleamed. Evelyn Locke. Age 24. But in the terminal mirror, Oakley's eyes stared back, haunted.
Hungry.
I'd taken control.
Yes.
Rewritten the script. But control was illusion, revenge. A mirror reflecting fractures. As the plane taxied, engines humming like fate's whisper, I closed my eyes. No more forgetting. No more graves. Just forward, into the storm I'd summoned. Name changed, but scars eternal. In the end, it wasn't happy or tragic. Just American, messy, merciless.
Mine.
The fellowship in D.C. was a gilded cage, marble halls of the Hoover Building, briefings on cyber, threats that felt like echoes of my own buried hacks. I thrived on it. Evelyn Locke, the prodigy with a knack for cracking encrypted ledgers, her Midwestern twang polished to neutral. Colleagues slapped backs at happy hours, toasting the future of justice, oblivious to the vendetta fueling my code. Harlan checked in monthly. Gruff updates. Your brother's singing like a canary in Supermax. Dad's rotting quiet. Uncles? Scattered like roaches. Satisfaction bloomed. Sharp as bourbon. But sleep evaded me. Nightmares looped. The river's chill grip. Jax's fabricated texts. Drive safe.
Sis.
Love ya. Lies that killed. Purdue faded to sepia. Nia a lifeline via FaceTime. Her now engaged glow a reminder of normalcy, I torched. Ev, seriously? Visit. Tyler's proposing for real this time. I'd laugh. Deflect. Soon. Promise. But Gary pulled like gravity. A black hole of unfinished edges. Vito's shadow loomed largest, his truce too clean, his tips too convenient. Was he grooming me? Or testing? The call came mid-October. Fog rolling off the Potomac like secrets. My burner buzzed, untraceable. A habit from Harper paranoia. Locke. Vito's voice. Silk over gravel. Evelyn, he purred, as if we'd brunch weekly. Heard you're making waves. Care to make more? I leaned against the window of my Georgetown walk-up, city lights blurring. Waves drown people. Vito. What's the play? Lunch. The monocle. Noon tomorrow. Come alone. I hung up, pulse sinking to the rain-pattering glass. The monocle, Senate Power Den, where deals birthed and bodies vanished. Risky, but curiosity was heroin, and I was hooked. Morning broke crisp, leaves crunching under my boots as I cabbed to Capitol Hill. The restaurant hummed, suits barking into phones, waiters gliding like spies. Vito waited in a corner booth. Gray suit impeccable, a single malt sweating condensation. He rose. Air kiss European. Eyes appraising. You look well. Oakley. Or should I say Evelyn? Charming reinvention. I slid in, ordering black coffee, strong. No cream for illusions. Cut the nostalgia. You didn't drag me here for small talk. He chuckled, signaling the waiter.
Direct.
Like Ray.
A pause.
Heavy as lead. He was my half-brother. You know. Mom's side, messy lineage. When he crossed Harlan's predecessor, I tried pulling him back. But Harper's. They protect their own. By slitting throats? I sipped, scalding. By surviving. His gaze hardened. Your father approached me in '04. Desperate, shop failing. Debts to worse men. Ray had proof. Tapes of kickbacks to city council. The works. Dad offered a cut to silence him. I declined.
But Jax.
Eager kid. He volunteered. Volunteered. The word twisted like a knife. And you let it happen. I let choices happen. He leaned forward, voice dropping. But you, Evelyn, you didn't let. You avenged.
Now.
Opportunity, a ledger. Digital. Buried in a Jersey shell corp. Names. Dates. Flows from Chicago to D.C. Yours for the taking. Expose it. And empires fall. Join me. And we split the spoils.
Spoils.
The word dripped temptation, immunity from shadows, power to protect or destroy. But trust Vito? A serpent offering fruit. What's the catch? I pressed. He slid a USB across the table. Matte black. No catch.
Just family.
Extended. His smile didn't reach his eyes. Think on it. But hurry, other sniff. I pocketed it. Cab back a blur. In my apartment, laptop humming. I cracked the file. Terabytes of filth, politicians on payroll. Shipments masked as auto parts. A trail leading to a senator's aide with Harper ties. Jackpot. Or noose. Harlan's line rang from memory. Vito, he barked when I briefed. Jesus.
Girl.
That's syndicate brass. You playing double agent. Playing smart. I forwarded copies, insurance. Run it up the chain. Quiet. Quiet gets you killed.
Pause.
Proud of you.
Kid.
But watch your six. Nights fractured after that. Code bled into dreams, algorithms unraveling Ray's ghost. Jax's face morphing into Vito's. I pushed harder at work, flagged anomalies in trafficking rings. Earned a commendation from the deputy director. Luck. You're a machine, he boomed at the holiday gala. Crystal clinking. I smiled. Champagne bubbles masking the churn. Mia visited New Year's, crashing on my futon, her ring glinting like accusation.
Ev. Spill.
This life's got you wired, eyes like you've seen the apocalypse. I cracked halfway. Over mulled wine, the betrayal. The accident, the name change. Omitted the murder. The rebirth too raw. She hugged fierce. Fuck, M. You're free.
Free.
The word mocked as she flew back, leaving silence thick as fog. February's chill bit when the hit came. Not bullets, subtle. American. My car keyed with snitch. Anonymous emails flooding my inbox. Photos of Purdue dorm. Mia's wedding registry. Harlan's cruiser outside his ex's. Vito's test? Or Jax's reach from bars. I escalated. Leaked the ledger to ProPublica. Anonymized but pointed, headlines screamed, Chicago mob infiltrates DC auto trade. Fallout rippled. Raids on Shell Corps. Senator's aide resigning in disgrace. Vito called that night. Voice ice.
Bold.
Evelyn.
But sloppy.
Now they hunt us.
Us.
I laughed. Packing a go bag. You mean you? I'm done dancing. Think again.
Click.
Then. My door rattled. FBI issue boots?
No.
A envelope slid under. Single photo. Me at the monocle with Vito. Timestamped. Blackmail's opening bid. Dawn broke. I bolted to Harlan's precinct. Rain-slick streets mirroring my slide. He met me in the lot. Face thunder. Vito's spooked. Feds circling his penthouse. But words out, you're the leak. Not leak. Whistleblower. I handed the photo. Protect Mia. And me. He nodded.
Grim.
Witness, safekeeping. But Oakley, Evelyn, this ends ugly. Ugly was the trial. Spring blooming oblivious as I testified from a safe house. Voice steady over video link. Jax's face on screen gaunt. Broken, stared through me. She destroyed us, he rasped to the judge. For what? A dead junkie. For family, I countered. Eyes locked. The one you butchered. Verdict, life. No parole. Dad followed. Crumbling in the dock. Mom? She wrote once. Post-rehab. Forgive or forget. I burned it. Ashes scattering like doubts. Vito vanished. Rumor said Miami. New aliases. But his gift lingered. A final USB. Dropped at Harlan's. I cracked it alone. Summer heat stifling my studio. Not dirt, truth. Ray's diary. Digitized. Entries of love for his niece Oakley. Warnings about Dad's spiral. A plea to Vito. Pull them back before blood. And the kicker. My conception. Not accident, insurance. Mom. Barren after a botched abortion. Dad's rage-fueled. Borrowed Ray's donation. Half uncle. Half father. Incest's whisper. Buried deep. I retched. World tilting. Rebirth's cruelest twist. The blood I avenged ran in me too. Power or poison. I chose fire. Uploaded the diary, redacted. Pointed to a dark web drop. Let the syndicates devour their own. Harlan called. You're a ghost now. New ID. New coast.
Live.
Kid. I did.
California.
Tech hub glow. Evelyn Locke fading to Ellis Kane, software consultant. Waves crashing like catharsis. Dates flickered, a barista with tattoos. A coder with laugh lines, but ghosts clung. Mia's wedding invite arrived. Creased from miles. Honorary sister? I went. Dress silk against scars. Toasting her joy. Years layered. Promotions. A loft in SF. Harlan's retirement card yellowing on the fridge. Jax died in a yard fight, shanked to the gut. Poetic. Mom passed quiet.
Cancer.
Vito? Found floating in Biscayne. Heart attack. On the 10th anniversary, June again. Fireflies mocking from memory. I stood at Gary's edge. River murmuring. Diploma long lost. But resolve etched. I'd taken control.
Yes.
Changed names like skins. Left the Harper's ash. But in the quiet, Oakley's voice whispered, was it worth the haunt? Worth? American as apple pie, ruthless reinvention. I turned west. Sun dipping. Ready for the next board. San Francisco's fog rolled in like amnesia. Cloaking the scars I wore under linen suits and venture capital schmoozes. Ellis Kane now, mid-30s. AI ethics consultant. The irony, a private joke. Boardrooms buzzed with talk of disruption, but mine hummed with algorithms trained on vendettas, predictive models for corporate fraud, echoing the ledgers I'd cracked years back. Success draped me, keynotes at TechCrunch, a podcast deal, even a TEDx slot on digital ghosts, reclaiming your data self. Audiences applauded, mistaking resolve for inspiration. If only they knew the ghost was literal. Harlan faded to holiday cards. His arthritis scrawled notes. Retired fishing. Stay sharp.
Mia?
Motherhood softened her edges. FaceTime calls filled with toddler chaos. Ellis. When's your turn? Some Silicon Valley bro with a yacht. I'd deflect. Yachts sink. Truth. Trust was a luxury I'd bankrupted. Vito's echo persisted. A low hum in quiet hours. Post-mortem leaks trickled, his empire splintered. Lieutenants flipping like dominoes. One file. Anonymous. Landed in my inbox. Ray's final letter. Unsealed. To Oakley. If you read this, blood don't define. Choose light.
Light.
I'd chosen lasers instead. The unraveling started innocuous. A client dinner at Quince. Heirloom tomatoes bursting like accusations. Across the table, Marcus Hale. Venture shark. Eyes sharp as Harlan's in youth. Kane. Your model's brilliant. Predictive as hell. Ever think finance? His firm. Hale Capital. Whispered ties to old Chicago flows. Laundered clean in crypto. I probed. Casual. Finance bores me. Too many skeletons. He laughed.
Teeth flashing.
Skeletons build empires. Buy dessert. Offer on the table. 6 figures.
Equity.
Discretion claws winking. I took it. Not for money, for the hunt. Hale's servers were fortresses. But my back doors whispered. Transfers to shell accounts. Nods to ex-Harper suppliers. Marcus? Grandnephew to Vito's consigliera. Blood calling. Nights bled into code dives. Coffee cold as caution. Mia noticed. Unprompted call. Ellis. You're vanishing again. Like Gary days. What's haunting? Work, I lied. Then, crack. Remember Jax? Silence stretched. The brother? You buried that. Not deep enough. I spilled fragments, the models mirroring his scams. The pull like gravity. Am I avenging? Or addicted? Both, she said.
Fierce.
But choose you. Finally.
Choose.
Ray's echo. I pulled back. Tendered resignation mid-project. Marcus cornered me in the garage. Rain sheeting his Bentley. Quitting? After the access? Ethics, I said. Key fob chirping my Prius. Yours. Not mine. He grabbed my arm. Grip vice. Ethics get you killed.
Kane.
Or Oakley. Whatever the fuck you call yourself. Ice-flooded veins. Know that name? Family trees branch weird. His smile twisted. Vito spoke highly. Before you fed him to the wolves. Betrayals bloom. Fresh as 18. Marcus wasn't pawn player. Vito's legacy. Grooming via hail. Testing if I'd bite the poison apple. I wrenched free. Pepper spray itching in my purse. Tell your ghosts, Harpers are extinct. Home. I torched bridges. Data dumps to SEC. IRS. The works. Hale's empire imploding in dawn raids. Marcus called from holding. You ruthless bitch. This ends with you in the river. River. Calumet's chill ghosted my skin. Safekeeping activated. Harlan's old strings pulled. New ID. Lena Voss. Relocation to Portland. Craft brews and evergreens. But the twist gnawed. Rebirth wasn't reset, but recursion. Each victory looped tighter. Vendettas birthing new ones. Portland settled uneasy. Bookstore job for cover. Therapy sessions unpacking trauma without the supernatural.
DR.
Reyes. Soft-spoken Latina. Probed gentle. This anger. Rooted where?
Family, I said.
Betrayed. Killed. She nodded. And the revenge? Cathartic. Then hollow. Hollow's progress. Fill it. Filling came sideways. Volunteer coding for at-risk kids. Teaching firewalls against digital wolves. One girl. 13. Wide-eyed. MS. Voss. Y-code. Worlds full of bad guys. To outsmart them, I said.
Truth.
Summer solstice. Longest day. I drove east, impulse. Or closure. Gary sprawled unchanged. Mills skeletal. River sluggish. The house? Condemned. Windows boarded like blind eyes. I parked. Dusk painting it bruise purple. Fireflies igniting memories. Inside, forced door creaking, dust danced motes. Furniture ghosts. Dad's lazy boy sagged. Jax's posters curled. In the desk. Untouched. Ray's photos. Faded but fierce. I traced his face, mine.
Halved.
Sorry, I whispered. For the blood. Outside. Lightning flickered. Storm brewing. Phone buzzed, unknown. Marcus? No, Harlan.
Kid.
Bad news. Mia's accident. Hit and run. Stable. But world grade. Chicago plates. Witnesses said. Marcus's reach. Or Vito's dying curse. Flight delayed by thunder. I paced O'Hare. Rain lashing glass. Mia. Bandaged in ICU. Squeeze my hand. Not your fault. Ellis. Live for it.
Live.
Ray's plea. I did, testified remote. Marcus crumbling under Rico. His empire hail no more. No river for me. Cuffs instead. Back in Portland. Fall leaves crunch judgment.
DR.
Reyes. Guilt's a chain. Break it. I tried. Dated a barista. Owen. Tattooed forearms. Easy laugh. Dinners stretched to weekends. His cabin smelling of pine and possibility. Lena. You're a fortress, he said one night. Fire crackling. Let me in. I did. Halting. The death. Rebirth veiled as near miss, the names shed like skins. He held. No judgment. Strong as hell. Strength's illusion shattered December. Package at my door. No sender. Inside, my old cap, blood flecked from the wreck. Note in Jax's scrawl, missed one thread.
Love. Bro.
Prison contraband? Or ghost? Owen found me curled.
Sobbing.
Talk.
Can't.
Kills. Then haunt back. His words. Simple. Ignited. Final play. I wrote memoir.
Raw.
No holds. Reborn in rust. A Harper reckoning. Pseudonym. But truth's bare. Betrayals blueprint. Revenges rot. Publishers fought. It landed with Knopf. Spring release. Launch night. Seattle. Crowd electric. Readings trembled. The empty seats. The party balloons. The river's roar. QAnon. Was it worth it? Worth defines us, I said. I chose control. Post her. Owen proposed on Multnomah Falls Mist, ring simple.
Vow fierce.
Build with me. I said yes. Wedding small, Mia matron. Harlan groomsman. Gruff toast. To second chances. Pregnancy bloomed summer. Kick like rebirth. Ultrasound girl. Name? Oakley Ray Voss, light from shadows. Years cascaded. Daughter toddling. Owen's firm thriving. My book sequel on ethics. Ghosts? Quieted. Not gone. Jax's note? Traced to a forger. Marcus's cellmate, dying spite. No more. On her 5th birthday, Oakley asked, Mommy, why cry at cakes? I knelt. Her eyes mine.
Rays mirroring.
Old stories. Happy endings take work. She hugged. Small arms steel. We got this.
We did.
American dream. Dented but defiant. From rust to roots. Control not seized, but shared. No perfect happy. No abyss. Just life messy. Merciful.
Mine.
Twists end. In the attic. Unpacking. A final envelope. Mom's script. Forgave you first.
Love.
Always. Inside. Ray's insurance check. Uncashed. Willed to me. Enough for the cabin. The life. I cashed it. Invested in light.